Hi, it's Dwyer, gamblersadvisory.com. Uh, Remember, the opinion you should follow should be your own. Just consider this video to be a second opinion on an upcoming fight. I deeply appreciate when fight fans um, visit my channel page and tell me about a great fight that is upcoming that I might not have known about. Let me try to return the favor. I think there is a great fight that's taking place in Australia, a great boxing country, on July 21st between Danny Green, the Green Machine, the boxer who knocked out Roy Jones in the first round. In fact, the only boxer to knock out Roy Jones in the first round. And he's taking on a bit of a cult hero in boxing, Paul Briggs. Now, you've heard me several times say that I personally believe that Juan Manuel Marquez beat Manny Pacquiao in their two matches. The first match was ruled a draw. The second match, Pacquiao won by decision. Well, Paul Briggs fought Tomas Ademic, one of my favorite fighters, twice. And all I can say is I would advise boxing fans to look at both fights. These fights are the stuff of boxing chat rooms. There are many different opinions. Um, I believe all of them are valid. My opinion is that Paul Briggs won the first match against Tomas Ademic, and all I can say with the second match is Ademic went down in the first round, got deducted a point later in that fight, and somehow was able to win a decision. Um, let's just say that the people who believe that Paul Briggs beat Tomas Ademic, who right now is campaigning at heavyweight and is an excellent heavyweight, the people who feel that Paul Briggs beat Tomas Ademic twice have a very strong argument, in my opinion. Briggs officially lost both of those decisions. Now, he is coming off of a 3-year layoff. Understand that this fight is in Australia. Understand both of these guys are Australian. They are two of the premier Australian boxers. Now, before I go further, let me just point out to people who don't know, we talk about great fighting countries, right? We all know about Argentina. We know about Mexico. We know about the United Kingdom, Germany, the United States. Let me just add to that mix Australia. Understand Australia has a very rich boxing history. It might surprise some people to learn that Australia had a black heavyweight champion, Peter Jackson, before Jack Johnson became the first black world champion. And of course, Peter Johnson would go on to win the British Commonwealth crown. It might also surprise people to learn that Jack Johnson fought in Australia twice before he fought in Australia against heavyweight champion Tommy Burns and took that belt, right? The one constant with Australia is that they are a bunch that are interested in talent, not skin color. I understand no country is perfect, but understand the history is so rich that when future Hall of Famer Archie Moore, the great light heavyweight, was starting his career, he actually traveled to Australia and fought several fights in Australia. He simply was getting a better opportunity of fighting in Australia than he was in the United States. So you're talking about a rich boxing culture. You're talking about two popular guys, and this fight has an elephant in the room. The elephant in the room, in addition to the fact that Paul Briggs has not fought for 3 years, is that Paul Briggs and Danny Green used to be sparring partners. Now, given the fact that both guys tend to be more lead puncher than counter puncher, I believe this fight, and given the familiarity between the two guys, in other words, they're not going to spend those first 3 rounds, looking at how the other guy looks, trying to figure out what the other guy throws, trying to figure out whether or not, they should charge in or stay outside. They've already fought many rounds with each other, many. And so you're talking about two guys who are going to jump into the pool right away. You're talking about a fight that's different in some respects to the Carl Froch Arthur Abraham fight. And by the way, I expect this fight to be as good as that fight's going to be. But understand, Froch and Abraham are more counterpunchers than lead punchers, right? In this fight, you actually have two lead punchers with very heavy hands, two guys who are very active. Just remember, all you have to do is ask Roy Jones. You saw how hurt he was. Also understand that when you look at their records, you're going to see some losses. You know, Danny Green beat Marcus Dwyer, in their first fight and got disqualified, right? Don't just go by the official result. Actually look at the fight and see what happened. He got disqualified, very questionable. When they fought in the rematch, I'll concede that Marcus Dwyer showed that Danny Green can be countered. But understand, even in the rematch, Danny Green dropped him in the 12th round. And Green was his own worst enemy because when Dwyer was hurt and Green had an opportunity to step in and finish the job, somehow Green spat out his mouthpiece. Self-destructed. He spat out his mouthpiece by the time the referee cleaned off the mouthpiece, and to me that itself was questionable. The referee should have let that fight roll given the circumstances. Obviously, Dwyer was completely lucid at that point and was able to hang on for the rest of the round and get the decision. I just told you I thought that Briggs um, may have beaten Tomas Ademic twice. Understand, Australia is this close to being viewed as an elite boxing country. Quite frankly, they've done enough, but because of things like the Green disqualification, Bundine fighting Aki too early, and Briggs against Ademic, they haven't been able to win that big ring yet. Well, let me just point out that I like Danny Green in this fight, but I believe the safe play, the preferred play, isn't even to take Green. It's to bet that this fight doesn't go the distance. Briggs hasn't fought for 3 years. The way fighters after long layoffs typically do it is they come back for the first 5 or 6 rounds. They see if they can be competitive. If Briggs starts getting hit with rocks and can't handle the boxing speed and the power of Danny Green, then I believe that he and his corner are probably going to throw in the towel around the 8th round. That's if the fight makes it 8. Understand, neither of these guys knows how to take a step back. They're literally going to be coming forward. Worse yet, there's going to be no feeling out period because these two guys know each other. And so I'm expecting this fight to be a short one. I believe the best bet you can make is that this fight will not go the distance, right? As for the winner of the fight, I concede that Briggs has a chance. Briggs has a chance in every fight he's in, right? When you're a hard-hitting lead puncher and you're fearless, then you'll have a chance. But I personally believe that Danny Green is underrated. Danny Green is the active fighter. 3 years is simply too much. And Briggs took time off from boxing because of some health problems. Even though he's back in the ring and I'm sure he's in great shape, those health problems to me are things that gamblers like myself need to think about. So I believe Danny Green wins a spirited fight, but don't leave the TV because this fight could end early. Two lead punchers, neither of whom takes a step back. Green hits hard with both hands. He's blessed, right? Fighters who hit as hard as Green with both hands are very rare in boxing. So, primary bet doesn't go the distance. Secondary bet, Green takes it. Let me know what you think. By the way, when I say Green takes it, I mean Green takes it by knockout if you're a prop better. Leave your comments for me here on YouTube and visit us at gamblersadvisory.com. Thanks for watching.